And time is going, and here we go. So, hello everybody. This week's review, and I'm probably gonna do another review this week on Sunday. So I am gonna stay. I hopefully I'll stay true to the 2 reviews a week promise, and then get back to what I normally do. So today I am going to be talking about a certain animated superhero movie that seems to have the target audience very happy, maybe some other people in said target audience, and then people who have absolutely despised the stuffings out of this show literally from the moment it started airing. And I'm talking about Teen Titans Go to the Movies. So, this is a superhero movie that essentially spoofs a lot of superhero movies. And even though the characters are originally from DC, they still throw a few playful punches in at Marvel's face, and a lot of them do hit. You know, the, there are a lot of great jokes in this movie, and I don't really want to spoil them all that much, but I kind of get the feeling that for some people, I think most people who heard of this movie either decided whether they're going to take their kids to see the movie, and guys around my age that grew up with the show, um, deciding to either hate it or give it a chance. And when I mean guys, I personally did not grow up with the show. I saw a few bits of the original Teen Titans from 03 to 06, but I knew it was a big deal when I was a kid. I just never watched it. And I did hear that this show was catching a lot of flack for being a more child friendly version of the show. But then again, when you look at the animation and the character designs of Robin and the gang, I don't really know what you're expecting. It's bright and colorful. Are you really gonna expect a villain to come up and saying, "Hey, I've planted bombs in every red blood cell in your team's body." So, would you really expect that kind of level of seriousness from characters designed the way they are? As you can see from the title card of the movie I'm reviewing, yeah, why would you expect something dark and gritty from that? So I'll address the whole people my age or older getting mad about this, but first I want to talk about the actual movie. So the movie, and you can pretty much tell what the plot is from the trailer, is that Robin wants to get a feature length film made about him because he wants to be seen as a legitimate superhero. And that might be a little tougher than usual since the Teen Titans are essentially immature, but I think we all know how this movie is going to end. I'm not going to spoil it, but I think we know how this movie is going to end whether you watch the movie or not. So, so seeing how this is a comedy, a lot of people I think were afraid that most of the humor was going to be related to, fart jokes or poop jokes or pee jokes or hey, if you really want to go for the money shot, projectile vomit jokes, you know? Um and to the movie's credits, there's really only 3 bathroom jokes. There's really only 3, and there's of the 3 bathroom jokes in that regard of the stuff I just mentioned, there's really only one that's really painful because the other one is just a throwaway joke. And then the other one is just, well, it's just another stupid joke, you know? But most of the gags in the movie, most of the gags in the movie are actually pretty well done. And I do like how they throw in some dark jokes. I never saw the show that this movie was based off of, but there are jokes about how they do a hit and run on a polar bear, and then Cyborg's like, oh, his dad's a cop, run! And then they just leave the polar bear's body in the middle of the road. I mean, considering the fact that that I don't mind dark humor if it's funny, that was probably one of the funniest jokes in the movie. And yeah, and they also make fun of the fact that Stan Lee cameos in virtually every Marvel movie. And they actually got Stan Lee himself to do his own animated character cameo, which I thought was pretty funny. And it's really funny where he's like, forget it. I don't care if this is a DC film. I'm making my cameo. Excelsior! And if I could do a good Stan Lee impression, I would have done so, but that there are a lot of good jokes. But I think one of my main problems with the movie is that I understand that this is a kids movie, so you can't really you can't judge it harshly unless it has something legitimately offensive and mean spirited in it. And I don't think the hit and run joke, I don't think that necessarily counts because that's played for laughs. That's meant to be funny because it's messed up. I mean, like doing something dark and twisted and saying like, "Oh, punching your sister and beating her to a pulp is a good thing." It's not like that. But my problem is that it seems to be very obnoxious with reminding us that it's a kids film because and there are two big examples of that. And one of the examples does lead to a funny joke. The Teen Titans apparently have this theme song that's a rap, and okay, fine, rap's okay, but they do the theme song so many times it becomes really obnoxious. And there is one joke where they're about to play the theme song again, and then the person that they're talking to is like, "No, shut up, cut the music." So at least they had one joke where they made fun of how obnoxious the theme song is. That, and I think the character of Beast Boy, who's basically the what Michelangelo is to the Ninja Turtles, he is to the Titans. I will say this: I think I would have liked him a lot more if he. I don't know how to make this criticism without me seeming like I should have a gray beard, but another reason why I find this movie obnoxious is that Beast Boy seems to be well. When they were writing the script, Beast Boy seems to say every little slang terminology you can think of, like saying "fool," "dude," and it's just like, okay, I can understand you saying that, but dude, your character isn't cool enough to use that slang terminology every other scene and still come off as awesome. There are some people that can use a slang terms often and still be, pretty cool looking. But then you come across the people who are using the slang terms hoping to be cool, but then they come off as annoying. So yeah, and I will say this about the movie. For every 4 or 5 minutes, actually for every 10, 12 minutes I was getting invested and enjoying the movie, there about there's about 5 or 6 minutes afterwards that would kind of annoy the crap out of me. The some of the immature jokes got pretty grating. Well, a few of the immature jokes got a little annoying, and the theme song most of the music in this movie is pretty good. It's just the Titans theme song that it gets annoying. They make a joke about how annoying it is, and they don't use it till the very end. And when they use it at the very end, it's not really that bad because I think there's like 40 minutes of movie without the theme song in there. So if you wanted to have a Titans theme song play repeatedly, that's not a bad idea. Because A, it led to a good joke. B, they took note of the joke being made about the song being annoying, and then they just waited until near the end of the movie. Because when you're doing a superhero film and it's the end and your superhero team wins, you kind of need the theme song of your hero or heroes to play. That's kind of a fitting moment for the theme song. And also, the animation is really colorful. It's really flowing. It's really alive. And as much as I complained about the forced lightheartedness in the movie, it is nice to have a kids film that's mostly lighthearted, mostly silly because you know every once in a while we just need a kids film that's just junk food, you know? Every once in a while having a few extra cookies from the cookie jar is not a bad thing, because we got plenty of great kids films out there. And for all you Teen Titans fans that are angry about this show existing but happy about the original show coming back, I will say this. I'm not sure if your bitching is what led to this, but if it is, then I If that's what led to the original show coming back, at least. Um, so yeah, I mean, even though it's a kids film, that shouldn't always be the excuse. If you're just gonna dismiss something as, oh, it's stupid because it's for kids, kids deserve better. And I think if I were a kid, I'd probably enjoy the musical numbers, because when I was a kid, I didn't really understand the crazy humor that I love now. It just would have went right over my head. So yeah, if you're gonna hate on this movie because it's not like the original show, for one thing, this show was not trying to be the original show. I don't think it was ever marketing itself as such. So if you're gonna hate the show and say this movie's awful without seeing it, I'd recommend that whether you want to see this movie or not, and whether you have kids or not, I would say if you have any connection to the Teen Titans show, then I would say give it a chance. But I would still give it 2.5 stars out of 5, because like it was a good movie. Partially, there were some parts of it that I really liked, and then there were other parts that got really obnoxious. But I think considering the fact that people were ready to hate this movie that was aimed at kids, I've seen kids films that are way worse. So this one was just kind of like a mild, you know, this was like a mild slap in the face. Like it was kind of like the slap in the face where you look at the person and you're like, "That's the best you got." So see it, don't see it. But if you're gonna say this movie killed your childhood, you probably never had a childhood worth holding on to. Bye.